Good morning, everyone from Jerusalem, and welcome back to Live Your Life. Yeah, I love spending time with the Lord, and it makes me think of Matthew 6:33. Seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you. So I go to him first, and he's my grounding, he is my footing. And so everything just goes up from there. He is my root. He's where I need to stand. He's my foundation, my rock, my stronghold. Hallelujah. I was thinking about the sensitive heart. If we want to live a life that inspires another, that stirs up another in a good way, that inspires them to be real, we need to be real ourselves. And those of us who have a sensitive heart, it's a treasure. Our sensitive, tender hearts before God are a treasure to him, and ought to be a treasure to others, to those who God has brought into our path, the anointed relationships, the relationships with his stamp of approval that he wants for us. But we find ourselves in situations where we are the one that need to step out because people need help. We all need help. And God will embolden us to, and it says in Proverbs 28:1, the righteous are as bold as a lion, to have courage, to step out where others can't. People do need help. People do need encouraging. And I have definitely put myself on the line. I have put myself out there many times. And I wouldn't want any other heart than the heart that God has bestowed upon me and deposited within me. That's the only heart that I want. And sometimes we think, oh, other people have it better. And I remember reading this really profound devotional in Streams in the Desert. And I have the original version, the Old English, which is just in pieces. The binding is all broken, but I just love, they do make the contemporary language, but I got spoiled on the Old English. And it talks about different crosses, how we all have a different cross to carry. And I may look at someone else's life, and I've said, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they manage everything they've been entrusted with. And I think others say that about me and the way that I live. And we are never to wish we had someone else's life. It's not better. It's the life for them. And the one that I have, and the faith that the Lord has given me for my life that he's entrusted for me, is hand fashioned for me. And that's what matters, that we are faithful with the life that God has entrusted to each one of us. So those of us with tender hearts, and God would call us out to be the one, to be the encourager, to be the courageous one. I did something just yesterday. I almost turned back, but then I said, no. I'm going to be the brave one, and I'm going to do this. And God does call us out to be bold and courageous. And I do want to be that inspiration. And also I want to say that I often say it will never be enough for me to just scathe by and go to heaven. No. I want to come into the fullness of everything I'm created for here. And if I am not getting reconnected with my one-of-a-kind heart, if I don't know what's going on in here, if I am detached, I am so limited as a human being. I cannot extend real, genuine mercy, loving kindness, compassion, real empathy. Oh no, and people know when you're putting them on. Oh yeah, I remember this guy saying to me about 5 years ago, I am empathetic. And I said, I don't feel it. And my feelers are all working. You know when people are real and when they're fake. And I don't want to be a fake person. I'm passionate about being real and transparent because I want to help people. I want to be that tall drink of refreshing water to my neighbors. I can't do that if I don't even know what's going on in my own heart. I was detached. I was living on automatic pilot until I got saved at age 29. And then God invited me on an emotional healing path. And I have grown by leaps and bounds, and I am still on my path. But I cannot extend mercy and love and real compassion. I cannot be an authentic, one of a kind human being if I am not reattached to my heart, and thank God that I am. I often say my greatest weakness has become my greatest strength, because I look at my senior portrait. I graduated high school when I was 17, so the photos were taken at 16. And I looked so serious. I mean, I was philosophical, analytical, intellectual. I lived in my head because, God forbid, I felt my heart. And I realized after salvation and some time had gone by that there was a belief within me, unbeknownst to me, that if I feel my feelings, I will die. So a part of me knew I had so much pain I wouldn't dare touch it. And I've been talking lately about how so many of us are so busy running up and down all day long for Yeshua, as if that's what he wants. No, no. Yeshua said, I only do what I see my Father doing. Don't do anything less and anything more than what the living God by his Spirit is leading you to do. Let's be motivated by his Spirit. And so I had an experience recently with a believer. And so this goes back to what I often say. It doesn't matter what you call yourself. I don't care. Your fruit will find you out. If you have tasty fruit, people will be drawn to perch on your branches. People will be drawn to Yeshua in you, because his love is just pouring out of you. And a friend of mine said to me some time ago, which has been coming back to me, it's so profound, and I'm going to paraphrase what he said, that when we're operating in the fruits of the Spirit, when that's how we're living our life, that will totally deactivate any power of the enemy in or around us, in our relationships. If I am living in the fruits of the Spirit, that totally delegitimizes, it totally disempowers the enemy in our lives. Absolutely, because love is what wins out all the time. All the time. And I talk about having to deal with the truth of what's in our heart, because if we don't, we will get sick, whether it's mentally, physically, whatever it is, all the above, spiritually, emotionally. We have to deal with the truth of the pain in our hearts with God and another trusted other. We do that, we come in touch with all of it, but that's not the end. We always choose love. We always choose love. We have to face the facts, face the reality, but then always choose to love. Always choose to love. We totally disengage the enemy and all of his cohorts that hold up his kingdom, and many different kingdoms of the enemy, whether it's kingdom of murder, which, starts with unforgiveness. Unforgiveness, if not addressed, unforgiveness, resentment, anger, resentment, bitterness, rage, and it can actually go to murder if left unattended, because that's a very serious, anger is not a sin. Feeling the emotion of the anger is not a sin. It's what we do with it. If we're angry, we need to deal with that. What is that about? Sometimes it can just mean that you're being treated unjustly, and that's why, and those of us who are really big into justice and God, we serve a just God, but we have to leave the vindicating to God, and he will vindicate us. Oh yes, we deal with the truth, but then that's not the end. We deal with the pain in our hearts and we do all the emotional healing, but we always have to come back to love. But we need to go through the process. Oh yeah. And living out the fruits of the Spirit will disempower the enemy in your life. There will be no open doors that will take down the enemy. Oh yes, hallelujah. Submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee. But we have to do the emotional work. If we are saved, we're going to heaven. Okay, it's not a salvation issue. We've received Yeshua, we're going to heaven. If we don't get on an emotional healing path, we are so limited in being able to help anyone. And so just to sum up, if we have that tentative, sensitive heart and we love God, we will have to step out. He will use us. He'll give us courage and boldness. He'll want to use us to bless others and to help others. Oh, yes, indeed. But we need to guard our hearts. How many scriptures about guarding our heart? We must guard our heart because out of it springs the issues of life. Let's learn from our mistakes. Something recently happened, and I'm looking to see what could I have done differently. And I already know what I could have done differently. I could have asked a question, and I could have avoided the disappointment that I experienced recently. Oh yes, if I had just asked a question. So let's learn. Let's learn. God does not want us to live, we as human beings will experience disappointment, absolutely. But God doesn't want us to repeat things that don't have to be repeated. He wants us to learn. He wants us to grow. He wants us to continue to shine our light and at the same time protect our hearts and use great wisdom. Great wisdom as the times are growing more evil, becoming more evil. Oh, yes, we need to dig our heels into our most holy faith. And God allows a lot of tests and trials. He doesn't tempt us. He's not the tempter. He does try us. He allows a lot of things so that we come out through all of it, praising our God even more and more and more, giving him all the glory. He wants to strengthen us. He wants to fortify us. He wants to sharpen our weapons in our arsenal of praise, worship, and thanksgiving. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So how do I fight my battles in the Lord? Through the new song and the new dance. Our part is to step into his presence, and he will take care of the rest. In his presence is fullness of joy, and God surely inhabits the praises of his people. And worship has transformed both physical and emotional pain in my life, and I am resolve that I am dancing my way into healing in the name of Yeshua. Communion with God is very powerful, and when we commune with him, there is nothing that he cannot do for us. There's nothing he won't do, and he will move heaven and earth for his children. And he said, I close with this, Yeshua said, the works of God is two very powerful words. Only believe. God bless you from the city of rejoicing, the city of the great King, his resting place forever.